MetsMinute Nation,
Yes?
I was thinking, it's such a game of streaks, this game of baseball, is it not? The Mets lose 3 in a row to the Washington Nationals, a crucial series for us. The offense looks horrible, and the season basically looks over. But then what happens? We play the Cubs for 4 in a row, and we sweep all of them. We have consistent hitting, timely pitching, and we look like a great playoff team. Those teams that can consistently win throughout the year are those that are going to win the championship. So you can lose a few, but you've got to be able to overcome them. So it was great to see that in the Cubs series this week. We just beat the Marlins today after being down 6-0 and persevered to win. This is all fantastic, but there's some kind of cold hard facts that we need to face as a team, which brings me to my next segment called Cold Hard Facts. 1. Asdrubal Cabrera. He's been so much more than any of us expected this year. I called him Astrubal Cabrera at the beginning of the year, I'll admit that. But he's been excellent, consistent, and now that we're getting Jose Reyes back, there's not even a consideration of putting him back at short. So that's fantastic. Second cold hard fact, Matt Harvey is really not a good pitcher this year. I know there's probably some mental things to it. Maybe there's some things about residuals from Tommy John surgery. Maybe it has to do with Game 5 of the World Series last year. But either way, he's not a guaranteed win. He's not even a guaranteed quality start right now. And we have to consider taking him out of the rotation. I know when we get Zach Wheeler back. Third cold hard fact, this team has absolutely no speed at all. So I'm actually really excited to see Jose Reyes back this week at some point because he, for the first time basically since he left, we're going to have some speed on the team. These are 3 things that I think are really going to help this team this year and help us turn the tide to be more of a consistent winner throughout the rest of the year. So that's the Mets Minute for this week. I want to address a question from last week where we talked about what are those moves that our Sandy Alderson needs to make this team better. And I think Reyes is a good one, and we'll see how that plays out. 2 is facing some of these cold hard facts that we just went over today, in my opinion. And that was some of the opinions we got in from our mailers this week too, is that addressing pitching and being careful with the injuries we have and not being afraid to make a move with that staff is an important one. He's actually got to pick his all-star team lineup this week as well, as balloting is finished, and he is the coach of the team this year. So let me revisit a question that we talked about earlier this year in terms of who you want to see on the Mets team, the Mets on the all-star team, and not just kind of your favorite players, but who should really be on that team. You could certainly make a case for Syndergaard and Cespedes and Familia. Are there others? And if we could only have a couple, who would it be? Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on it. Mets Minute, you've just been minuted, and we'll see you next week.